between two teams, but many to come. It's not just between the players, but also their machines. Sweat, not in the jerseys, but in their gears. It's about the race this time.
Hello everybody and welcome back to the Formula Regional Middle East Championship certified by FIA. It's the second round of 2023 and we've come to a brand new location, Kuwait Motor Town.
各位观众大家好，欢迎回到我们的直播现场。即将进行的是国际汽联中东区域方程式锦标赛第2回合第1站的比赛了。我们来到一条全新的赛道，这里是科威特汽车城赛道。So, Jake, tell us how special this circuit is.
Well, it's brand new. Nobody's ever raced on it before, neither team nor driver nor championship. So it's a brand new opportunity for everybody to go out and put on a good show. It's designed by the Formula 1 architect Herman Tilke, and it's the longest race circuit in the Middle East. So it's got plenty of excitement wrapped up.
好，那么这条赛道呢，目前也是中东最长的赛道，它是由赫尔曼·提尔克设计。那么赫尔曼·提尔克呢，也是非常著名的 F1 赛道设计师。同时呢，这条赛道也是全新的赛道，车手们全都没有在这里比赛过，所以未来的比赛将会非常的精彩。不过在比赛开始之前，先让我们回顾一下上一站的精彩集锦。
So before we go racing here at Kuwait, let's look back at what happened 2 weeks ago in Dubai.
Show up to cheer for Amchi Mumbai.
Mumbai Falcons at the Asian.
Couldn't have started a championship like this in better mode. Race 1 was full of action right from the outset as Davide Mini and Dino Beganovic renewed their year-long rivalry in Formula Regional out here in the Middle East. But there was battles elsewhere as Taylor Barnard had to charge his way through from the back of the grid, and Sami Megatuniv nearly took out 2 of the PHM drivers. Nikita Bedrin was out on the spot, Joshua Dufek able to continue, albeit with difficulty. But the battle between Gabriele Mini and Dino Beganovic came to a point as they were squeezing each other to the line. Dino Beganovic picked up the win, Gabriele Mini a penalty. Next morning, more great race action, and Nikhil Bora got the reverse grid pole in front of Aidan Neat as the rest of the field squabbled for supremacy. The pressure was always going to be sky high for the RHGP driver up front as everyone else duelled for the action. But would you believe it, Gabriele Mini and Dino Beganovic came to blows yet again as they duelled too closely and ended up taking each other out. Then came the duels in the midfield as more drivers tried to make up positions. Some were successful, others not so. But the race victor remained up front, Nikhil Bora, staying the course and holding off the pressure from Aidan Neat right to the checkered flag. Whilst others faltered, Nikhil Bora couldn't be quashed. Race 3 was all about tactics and strategy. Andrea Kimi Antonelli led away, but by the end of the first lap, Mari Boyer was in front. Sami Megatuniv was in the war zone. Sadly, so too was Taylor Barnard. But as Aidan Neat battled with Lorenzo Flusha, and several others got into the wars around them, it was the hard-charging Spaniard Flusha that finally got the job done. Benavides and Revenge went to battle, but out in front, Mari Boyer was dominant. 3 races, 3 winners from 3 different teams. Game on for 2023. And as we move to a thrilling new race circuit, what a place to race. This is a stunning motor racing circuit. The Kuwait Motor Town, the first time Formula Regional of any kind has ever raced on this circuit. Certainly, single-seater racing at international level has waited a long time to come here since the circuit opened in 2019. We were hoping it would happen in 2020, but an annoying little thing called a pandemic got in the way. Now that that's finally dissipating and the world is opening up once again, this is a great opportunity to go racing on this fabulous race circuit. Kuwait Motor Town is a thrilling new venue to international motorsport. 5.6 kilometers in length, this full-scale FIA Grade 1 motor racing circuit. And who knows, all of the top racing categories in the world will want to sample this place as the years roll on. The cars are just leaving pit lane now, folks, so it's not going to be too long before we go racing. Jake Sanson up here in the commentary box, Feline Wang down in pit lane, speaking to our pole position and race winner. So let's take a closer look at this fabulous new facility. In the heart of Kuwait lies a fabulous new race circuit, Motor Town. 20 corners, 5.6 kilometers in duration, and with a nice combination of high-speed straights, fast sweepers, and tight, twisty apexes, this circuit has everything. Elevation change, tough balance, high crosswinds, cool temperatures, and great wheel-to-wheel action. Unpredictability is set to be the buzzword. Let's have a look from a driver's perspective. Down the long straight, up into turn one. You keep the car flat in fifth gear here as you continue to accelerate. Try and catch it on the exit as you run parallel to the drag strip. It's really important to try and build the speed. If you're following another car, you can pick up a massive amount of slipstream, ready for a big braking zone into the hairpin at turn two. You've got to time it right just after the 100-meter board and then tight in through this long flowing left-hand hairpin. Correcting on the exit is important, you really can wash out. Dropping down the hill, left, right, and then a long flowing left-hand hairpin which opens out. Then you can start to tighten it up again in the radius, mid-apex, to get yourself ready for the next tight right. As you can see, it closes in on the radius then through the left-hander. Then you've got to hug the apex but not take too much curb because it will get a little bit slippy. Then the back end can correct you as you go through the chicane. Right and left, you're still accelerating all the way through. Blend the throttle, just the tiny feather needed for the second apex, but you carry a lot of speed through here, and then continuing on through the first of the rights. This goes on for quite some time, and the drivers will treat it as one long radius. Tightening on the exit for the fourth, you've got to carry a little bit of curve. Then up to the fifth, you hug a lot of line there. You can open it out through the first of the lefts, but then in the second, you really have to be very delicate. Catching it on the curb, kick it out through the next left. A little bit of curve on the exit is probably needed to carry the speed. Then you've got another reasonably long straight up to the final corner. It's easy to get this one wrong because the wind can really catch you in the wrong part of the race circuit here. So dab in, brake, delicate, turn in, coax the car, then get on the power. You've got to brake really late. Then back on the power once again as you come up the main straight. 5.6 kilometers of a great circuit. And Kuwait Motor Town has been unpredictable right from the outset. Even in time qualifying across the two sessions, we weren't exactly sure who was going to have the benefit of it, but it's definitely been really exciting to see who has come forward to get a good show on display. Everybody's been talking about the Italian stallion, Andrea Kimi Antonelli, who has just continued his incredible speed from his rookie weekend in Dubai to continue here a fortnight later and still be on the pace, still be up at the sharp end of the field. He very nearly bagged a pole position in time qualifying this morning. For all those of you who watched qualifying and are going, excuse me, Jake, I think you'll find he got pole position. Well, that was the plan. Sadly, it didn't quite work out that way for him. Joshua Dirksen took the pole position for race one. And while, yes, Andrea Kimi Antonelli's last qualifying lap was good enough to be pole position, it unfortunately was taken off him as he, along with 3 other drivers, exceeded track limits on their fastest lap. So, sadly, that drops Andrea Kimi Antonelli to 4th on the grid for race 3. However, he is starting on the front row of the grid for race 1, but it's the talented Paraguayan Joshua Dirksen who runs from pole position in the Hyderabad Blackbirds by MP car in what is incredibly his first race of 2023. Because the first round of the championship, that car was being occupied by Sebastian Ogier, and unfortunately he is not here at Kuwait Motor Town. He's been replaced by Joshua Dirksen, who was very quick in practice and has come straight into qualifying and put it in pole position. What an amazing turn of events. He's going to have a lot of pressure from the PHM trio, who did a very similar job to the Hyderabad Blackbirds by MP crew, putting their cars right up at the sharp end of time qualifying. It was always going to be very close, but on this particular occasion, it's all about Joshua. And Gabriel Barreto and Miguel Augusto are tuning in from Paraguay. Vamos Joshua is the message to him from pole position. He's going to have a really exciting run from the front of the grid. But can he sustain it? Can the Paraguayan keep himself at the front end of the field? It's definitely a bit of a mystery as we watch the drivers do their reconnaissance lap around the course. Staying with the coverage just a little bit longer before the start of the race, just so you can get a real flavour of this Kuwait Motor Town circuit. This is definitely one of those places where you are not supposed to judge the book by its cover, because the facilities around here are absolutely phenomenal. The infrastructure is growing every month, as there is obviously a real impetus for the Kuwaiti motorsport aficionados here to really grow this place into a mecca. This is a country that loves its speed. They love cars, they love bikes, they love rallying, they love rallycross, they love karting, they love drag racing, and all of that can be found in this same facility. They really have done their homework here in building this place. They got Herman Tilke to design it, and it may not be too long before Formula One takes a look at this place as a future venue. Andrea Kimi Antonelli lighting up second on the grid though. Everyone's keeping their eye on the young Italian stallion. The Mercedes F1 junior driver has come into his rookie campaign in Formula Regional out here in the Middle East, and what an impression he has made already. Second on the grid for race one, and who knows, he could well end up with a victory here this weekend. He didn't manage to in Dubai, but that didn't stop him taking the lead of the Drivers' Championship. Incredibly, with a second, a fourth and a sixth, that was good enough for Andrea Kimi Antonelli to lead the championship by 6 points to his own teammate Rafael Camara, who had a fourth and 2 fifth places, proving that consistency really does make a difference here. Taylor Barnard is actually third in the championship, would you believe? 2 third-place finishes. Despite his DNF in race 3, he could have even led the championship had things gone better for him in the third race. But the 3 race winners, 4th, 5th and 6th, Dino Beganovic, Nikhil Bora and Mari Boya. 3 different winners across the 3 races, but it really is going to be a sensational battle. And there is Joshua Dirksen, the Paraguayan superstar, lining up in pole position for this first Formula Regional Middle East Championship race of the weekend. We saw just a few moments ago in the F4 UAE Championship race prior to this one, Valerio Renicella not quite able to hang on to pole position. But is this going to be a changing of the guard? Are we going to see Joshua Dirksen rewrite the script and hang on from pole position? It's a tough circuit, and you can hear even in our broadcast that the wind has picked up. It is so strong in this part of the world. The temperature is very different to what it was 2 weeks ago in Dubai. I would say it's at least 10 degrees cooler. So down on the starting grid with Joshua Dirksen is Feline Wang.
So Joshua, tell us about the strategy in qualifying. You seems very fast.
Yeah, of course, the strategy is quite easy, is to go as fast as possible. Definitely everybody wants to go as fast, so yeah, we just improved the car, focused ourselves into the correct lines, and yeah, get a clean lap, and that's it. That's how it went, and that's went quite nice.
Thank you. Good luck with the race. Yeah. Joshua 他的这个，因为整个的 MP 车队呢，全都在排位赛当中做出了非常不错的成绩。那我也问到他们的策略，他说就是准备好这个车辆，然后同时呢准备好自己，然后呢让自己呢在这个排位赛当中做出最好的表现。因为所有的人其实都在排位赛当中希望拿到最快的单圈。那么现在呢，他也拿到了这个头位发车的好位置。Back to you guys.
Thank you, Feline. We also, of course, run not just in English, but also in Chinese, in deference to our viewers out in CTVS in China who are watching along. Hello to those of you who are watching via that particular stream, and also for those of you who are watching along on Facebook and YouTube and via the Kuwait Motor Town live stream. You are very welcome. For those of you watching the Kuwait Motor Town stream, this is probably very new indeed to you guys, but trust me, it's the first of many fantastic races that you're going to see across the next 6 days in Formula Regional Middle East, because not only are we racing 1 today and 2 tomorrow, but we're also going to be racing 1 race on Tuesday and 2 races on Wednesday. This really is Speed Week at Kuwait Motor Town. Now, we've got a lot of you watching along who are sending your questions, but we'll come to those in a little while. Let's have a word with Andrea Kimi Antonelli.
Hey, Kimi, you have been very fast for this weekend, and tell us about your approach for this race.
Obviously, we have a good chance to win the race, starting from P2. It's going to be a good opportunity going to P2, sorry. Yeah, we'll see how it goes.
Let's race the race. 那刚刚呢，我问到 Kimi 呢，他这一周呢，在练习赛和排位赛当中，其实都是非常快的速度。我提到他对这场比赛有什么期待呢？他说，当然了，他最大的期待就是赢得比赛了。Okay, back to you guys.
Thanks, Feline. That's going to satisfy the 14.7 million Andrea Kimi Antonelli fans that he seems to have worldwide. He is genuinely one of the biggest Instagram superstars in the world of Junior Feeder Series Motorsport. My goodness me, are they keeping an eye on this boy? And Kimi has come straight in to this 2023 season, eyes wide open, ready for battle. But what about this man, Sami Megatunif, the Frenchman for Hyderabad Blackbirds by MP? He did a great job in qualifying as well. 3rd on the grid for race 1, but watch out for him tomorrow because he's also pole position for race 3. This boy has definitely shaken the monkey off his back from Dubai, got into all sorts of difficulties. Now he is right up at the sharp end where he deserves to be. So there's definitely going to be a big charge forward from Sami Megatunif. So there's going to be a massive, sensational battle for all of the contenders as they run their way through. But this 28-car field has got many incredible talents in and up the field, but Kuwait Motor Town really has thrown a bit of a curveball into the mix for a lot of them. Taylor Barnard for the PHM Racing team, he had a great run in qualifying. 4th position for race 1, front row for race 2. And after his charge to 3rd position twice 2 weeks ago when he had to go from the back of the grid in race 1 and from 8th on the grid in race 2, well, winning from 4th should be a doddle, shouldn't it? Well, it's not quite as easy as that. It doesn't quite translate into quite so easy a rhythm on a circuit that's brand new, on a circuit with a lot of challenging sectors on the course. You've got to remember that the crosswinds here are massive. So it really is going to be an intriguing situation. The 3-minute board goes up. So JD Daly is watching along and wants to know what is the overall duration of these races. 27 minutes plus the additional lap, I do believe. 28 minutes plus the additional lap. I do apologise. So there you go. That is how things continue to progress. Christian Rocco wants to know how many super license points does the winner of this championship get. The short answer is 18. So it's quite an important one to start the season. Draiki Sakaki is watching along and says that Barnard is the dark horse. I have to completely agree with you from that 2nd row of the starting grid. Based on how motivated and determined he was in Dubai, he now knows that the championship is very much on, having had 2 third-place finishes. So being there on the 4th position of the starting grid, he really has a great chance. Liam Redford has his say on the stream as well. Montoya has been better this weekend, but in both qualifying sessions he couldn't hook up a full lap. Had purple sectors at points in both, but so far off in other sectors. Such a good point. Very, very valid indeed. Montoya has the pace in that car to be pole position, but you can't always string it together on this circuit, particularly when you hit the wrong part of the circuit with the prevailing crosswinds, and then you get the wash from the car in front. If you hit that at the wrong time, it's going to throw the car slightly off kilter. You can lose 2 to 3 tenths of a second per sector if that's the way it's going to play out. So it's very tricky. And I'm delighted to say that there seems to be a really strong fan contingent for the British new boy, Luke Browning, who has stepped in to replace the American Jack Crawford at High Tech Grand Prix. He is really brimming over with anticipation and excitement. He was the British F4 champion in 2021. He was the GB3 champion last year. And at the end of the year, courtesy of winning the Autosport Award back in December, he'll be test driving an Aston Martin F1 car. Watch for Luke Browning. He's definitely going to have a very strong international career. 1 minute to go for the Paraguayan on pole. Joshua Dirksen lining up beside Andrea Kimi Antonelli. And remember, it's not just about who's going to be winning the races. Keep an eye on the likes of Antonelli, Kamara, Barnard, and then those drivers in that mix of the top 5. If you're always finishing in the top 5, you'll suddenly find you have a decent chunk of points to take with you to the next race. It's all about consistency. We're really going to have a sensational battle. So the contenders are gearing themselves up, ready for the first Formula Regional race ever around Kuwait Motor Town, this brand new Hermann Tilke designed circuit. The pandemic may have delayed its anticipation in international motorsport, but now we know just how good this race circuit is going to be, thanks to the F4 race just a short while ago. It's a thrill fest and a real cathedral of speed. The green light comes on, and the drivers will go around for their reconnaissance lap. And we can talk you through the starting grid in full on the first formation lap in Formula Regional history around the Kuwait Motor Town circuit. 5.6 kilometers of great racing. Joshua Dirksen is on the pole. Andrea Kimi Antonelli is alongside him. Paraguay versus Italy. Sami Megatuniv lines up beside Taylor Barnard on the second row of the grid. Row 3 sees Joshua Dufek alongside Lorenzo Flusha. Two childhood friends, now they're battling. Mari Boya versus Rafael Camara. Spain versus Brazil. And rounding out the top 10, Dino Beganovic alongside the British rookie, Luke Browning. Row 6 of the grid, Gabriele Mini is there in 11th alongside Nikita Bedrin. Row 7 of the grid sees Pepe Marti climbing back up the table alongside Francesco Braschi. Row 8 of the grid sees Brad Benavides start alongside the Peruvian Matias Zagazeta. Row 9 of the grid sees Levi Revej beside the Colombian Sebastian Montoya. Watch him charge his way through. Nikhil Bora, who won race 2 last time out, is alongside Aidan Neate, who was second behind him. Tazana Poldin picked up a podium last time. He's beside his teammate Rafael Villagomez. Han Chen-Yu is beside Michael Shin, China versus Korea. Row 13 of the grid sees Niels Kuhlen alongside Daniel Mavlutyov. And then the back row of the starting grid sees Wang Zhongwei alongside his teammate Giovanni Mascio. So the contenders in Formula Regional Middle East are gearing themselves up for a really exciting battle. Are we going to get to see a strong charge from the pole position? A really tough scenario. And as Nini K points out, Dino P9, Gabriele Mini P11. Yeah, I know, it's kind of ironic, isn't it, that they're going to be particularly close to each other for goodness knows how long. The two of them have been absolutely glued together pretty much since the start of the season. Since last year, when they first clashed on the Yas Marina Circuit in 2022. Now here they are a year later, and they're still dueling, and they're still hitting each other. I think the moral of the story for Mini and Beganovic is, for goodness sake, stay clear of each other. But it's not really as easy as that by the look of things. So the contenders are working their way through, out to the final corner of the circuit. 3 races so far in this Formula Regional Middle East Championship, certified by FIA 2023. Race 1 saw a victory for Dino Beganovic after a thrilling last lap battle with Gabriele Mini. Mini thought the race was over. Mind you, so did many of us. But Mini backed off and ended up getting a penalty, which dropped him out of the points. So Dino Beganovic triumphed. Race 2, reverse grid pole went to Nikhil Bora ahead of Aidan Neate. The two of them pressured each other into the mistake, and neither of them made it, so Bora held the win. Race 3, Mari Boya stole the lead off Andrea Kimi Antonelli on the first lap and never looked back. 3 different race wins from 3 different race drivers. Certainly with Josh Dirksen and Andrea Kimi Antonelli on the front row of the grid, it's looking likely. The first ever Formula Regional Middle East Championship race on the Kuwait Motor Town circuit is about to get underway. Jake Sanson here in the commentary box for the first of 3 races this weekend. And boy, oh boy, is it going to be a tough one for the front row men. Joshua Dirksen on the pole, Andrea Kimi Antonelli second. Watch for Megatuniv and Barnard behind on the second row. The lights are coming on. When they go out, we'll be underway. Let's race in Kuwait. A great start from Andrea Kimi Antonelli, but a perfect launch from Josh Dirksen. Megatuniv is going to tuck in behind Antonelli. Barnard's going alongside him though, so Barnard's going to try and sneak into 3rd place through turn 1. And as they head parallel to the drag strip, it is the lights are coming on. When they go out, we'll be underway. Let's race in Kuwait. A great start from Andrea Kimi Antonelli, but a perfect launch from Josh Dirksen. Megatuniv is going to tuck in behind Antonelli. Barnard's going alongside him though. So yeah, we've got a couple of drivers rolling. Oh my goodness. A big shot, a big shot. Well, that is almost certainly going to be a safety car. It could be even a red flag. Very hard to pick out who did what to who. At least 9 cars, possibly 12 involved in that one. And that's going to be almost certainly a safety car. It may even be a red flag. Well, we'll have to try and figure out the pieces, but Mumbai Falcons are 1 and 2 out of all of that. So I think that might be Antonelli and Flusha. Let's have another look. And there's the big contact that comes in as one of the Hyderabad Blackbirds ends up over the top of one of the PHM cars, and then there's a bigger hit further back. As 2 cars come together, it's an absolute mess. Well, I mean, we were not expecting as big an accident as that. It's Brad Benavides, and it's also Marty Boyer. So Benavides and Boyer are involved. It looks like Dirksen's involved in that one. So too is Megatuniv, although Megatuniv has got going again. Flusha appears to be out. Kamara appears to be out. Mini's not come through. Bedrin's not come through. Marty's not come through. Brashy's not come through. And that's about it. My goodness me. That's half the field pretty much. Let's look at it from the back angle. One car goes up and another one goes over. It's Benavides that rolls it. He is so lucky that that didn't go full 360. Oh, ay, ay, ay. Looks as though everybody's okay, but that is a proper mess. And there's at least 12 drivers caught up in it, several of them off in one go. A monster shunt here at Kuwait Motor Town. Safety car is what's called. So, an amazing situation, but of course, as everybody has had a big accident, we need to look at where the positions are now. So Dino Beganovic is actually now leading from Andrea Kimi Antonelli, Taylor Barnard, and Sebastian Montoya. Montoya has gone from 18th to 4th in all of that. My goodness me! Montoya's had his ready brek this morning. 4th position in front of Dufek, Aidan Neat, Michael Shin, his teammate, then Via Gomez, Hans Shenyu and Giovanni Mascio. Luke Browning has somehow got through in 11th, then Niels Kulin, Wang Chongwei, Nikhil Bora, Levi Revej, Daniel Mavlutiov, Matthias Sagazeta, and then down at the back we've got Sami Megatuniv and Rafael Kamara, who were caught up in the incident. So too with Sagazeta. He's been into the pits, but it looks like we've only got 19 cars still running. Dirksen out, Flusha out, Boyer out, Mini out, Bedrin out, Marty out, Brashy out, and Benavides out. And yet through all of that chaos, Andrea Kimi Antonelli, the championship leader, remains clean as a whistle in 2nd place. My goodness. Well, this is going to be quite a tricky situation now because we've got a lot of cars to clean up. We are under safety car. A lot of work to get rid of these machines. Look at that. You've got Mini's car is destroyed at the left rear. And then we've got Josh Dirksen, the pole sitter, is down there. It's so hard to try and figure out how that even started. Red flag, red flag. So the race has been red flagged. So what's going to happen now is that the field is going to come back to the pits. This is an absolute carbon copy, pretty much, of what happened in the F4 UAE race just a short while before. The only difference being that this accident was much bigger. But it looks as though everybody is okay. So, well, there is Josh Dirksen's car. He's the one that went airborne initially. The pole sitter ended up just rubbing wheels with one of the PHM cars. I didn't see which one it was. I think it might have been Bedrin. But there is game over for Rafael Kamara, the Brazilian who was 2nd coming into this race, 2nd in the championship. For the Brazilian, it's game over. Well, can we keep working on it? Well, yes, I think we can, because we brought it back to the pits and then they red flagged it, so we can rejoin in last place, which is 19th at the moment. That seems to be the conversation. Well, fascinating situation, though, because Now, for those of you who are wondering why it took so long to red flag the race, this is quite a common practice now in racing at this level. You throw the safety car first to assess the situation, you figure out what needs doing and how long it's going to take, then you red flag it, but it's so that the safety car can basically keep the positions in a semblance of order. Well, a very tough situation. But red flag is called after a big start line incident involving at least 12 cars. There are 28 that started the race, but there are only 27 showing up now. Not entirely sure what's happened to the 28th car in the mix. It seems to have fallen off the timing screen completely. But the pole man, Joshua Dirksen, sadly for Paraguay, is out of the race when he went airborne in turn 2. Flusha is out, so too is Mari Boya, Gabriele Mini, Nikita Bedrin, Pepe Marti, Francesco Basci, and the man who flipped, Brad Benavides. But incredibly, after the first lap, Dino Beganovic is leading Kimi Antonelli, Taylor Barnard, and you won't believe this from 18th on the grid, but Sebastian Montoya in 4th place. Now his weekend and his season can get underway properly. And of course, because they're in those positions, they'll be allowed to start the race behind the safety car in those positions. So that is quite an astonishing situation. But as you can see, the marshals are going to work very quickly on the scene, actually, to get the cars recovered. You cannot race at all without the marshals. They've done an amazing job here in Kuwait so far this weekend with a lot of work to do. But the Bobcats are recovering the cars. Oh dear, it looks like there's a bit of leaking fluid there from Lorenzo Flusha's Mumbai Falcons car. There is the 88. That is Matthias Zagazeta, the RHGP driver, who was caught up in the incident. And look, they're just trying to see if the damage is not too severe, because if it isn't, then the Peruvian can keep going. But this is a difficult situation. They have to take the laptop, they plug it into the black box so that they can assess the situation. How much damage has the engine suffered internally and all of that? The complexity of the modern race car is absolutely massive. Well, a fascinating situation for all of the contenders. For those of you who are looking at the clock ticking and wondering what's going on, don't worry about that, because that's going to reset a little bit later on when we assess how long the race has actually got left. Well, that's just an automatic system. The timer keeps counting down. But the stewards will determine how long the race has got when we restart it behind the safety car. So that will be reset. Now, that's Sami Megatunev out of the car, having been involved in that first lap incident, shaking his head in disbelief. Are we about to see the Frenchman retire again? Sami Megatunev was a retirement in all 3 races in Dubai. So I cannot believe the bad luck that has come the Frenchman's way again here in Kuwait, because it could well be that he ends up retiring from the 4th race in a row. Well, Sahel Sharma asked, is the race going to be over under red flag? We sincerely hope not, but it isn't going to run down to 0, the timer, before we go racing again. I should point that out, at least not officially. So, very tough situation. But several cars going up in the air, well, 2 cars going up in the air, I should say, because Dirksen ended up just clattering into the wheel of one of the PHM cars, didn't quite make out which one, and he went airborne. That was enough to break his suspension by the look of it. But Brad Benavides couldn't slow down in time and went up and over. Now there is Dan Mavlutiov, who is currently running in 16th place. The British-based Turkish driver. So Daniel Mavlutiov, currently for the High-Tech Grand Prix team, one of only 3 cars for the team that are still running. Sebastian Montoya is unbelievably in 4th place, the Colombian Red Bull youngster. I mean, that is such a magnificent moment. Nini K pointing out Montoya P18 to P4 is his Barnard era. It's a very good point. Well, we're hoping to see if we can have a word with a couple of the drivers down there in pit lane, but obviously we have to run to protocol and procedure. So if we can get a word with anybody, then we will. So Nick Meister wants to know, will they restart behind the safety car like F4 again, or another standing start? Well, it's quite likely that we will run to a safety car restart, just based on the fact that the race was brought to red flag on the second lap. So that is most likely how it will play out, but I don't want to confirm that until I get official confirmation. There is Levi Revej, the Hungarian, who is currently 15th position for the RHGP team, the Hungarian. Just trying to learn on the job. So a really exciting race battle to come here on the Kuwait Motor Town circuit, but we certainly didn't get the race start we were hoping for. The great thing about this long straight is that you get a lot of slipstream. The problem with it on the first lap is that occasionally you get a couple of drivers missing their braking point. For those who have just joined us, we are under red flag conditions for an incident that happened on the first lap. So the red flag has obviously brought the race to a stop, but it was for a very tricky situation on the first lap. We had about 4 or 5 drivers wide down into turn 2, and it was a chain reaction that basically took out about 9 cars on the spot. 8 of them retired there and then. A few of them were able to hobble back to the pits to either retire or try and get the cars repaired. I hope we can get another look at that incident out on the circuit, because I think we should be able to look at it. Nobody's hurt in the incident, just a very crazy looking incident from the outside. But we can try and unpick it a little bit as well, because there were multiple things going on at the same time, because we had 2 separate points of contact. We had Dirksen going slightly airborne as he hopped up, tagging one of the PHM's wheels. And then Brad Benavides, it looked like he just missed his braking point by a couple of meters and just cannoned into the back of one car. And then obviously with everybody already turning into the corner, they start to go flying up and around. Ah, we can have a look at it. So let's have a look at it again. So you can see, look, 5, 6 cars wide. Watch on the left. There's the contact with Dirksen and the PHM. So that's already started a chain effect. Then a little bit late on the brakes for Benavides, and bang, he goes over. And now it's just a case of pick your way through, trying not to pick up damage. But I'm afraid Josh Dirksen and Mari Boyer were both out in that incident. And look at it. Oh. Some very lucky race drivers there. That could have been much, much worse. But we are okay. Everybody is all right, just quite a few bruised egos. And as you can see, the clean-up job is well underway. So the race will resume at 16:15 local time, which is in 8 minutes from now, for 24 minutes plus 1 lap. There is Mari Boyer, who no doubt is hunting down for the live stream footage. He wants to look at the incident. So Mari Boyer not happy at all. The Spanish driver, blameless in the incident, had nowhere to go. Just game over. A very frustrated race 3 winner at Dubai. The talented Spaniard, multiple IAMI karting title winner, both in his home nation and in Europe. And of course, he won the FIA Karting Academy trophy a few years ago as well. And he's stepping up to Formula 3 this year with his MP Motorsport team, but he really wanted to be a race winner in Formula Regional before he stepped up. He's accomplished that after his performance in Dubai, but here in Kuwait, a big moment. But fortunately, everybody is okay, and we all echo the sentiments of Vlatko Fararina. Thank God they are all okay. You're absolutely right. So a bit of a scary moment for the Kuwaitis to watch here on the start-finish line, because obviously they've got television screens around them as well, so they can see what happened in the incident. But the race will resume at 16:15 local time for 24 minutes plus 1 lap. So the contenders will gear themselves up ready for a restart. The provisional race order is going to be Dino Beganovic in first position. Amazing that he managed to pick his way through all that for the win, or for the lead, I should say. Well, let's not jump the gun. Andrea Kimi-Antonelli is currently second. There's work going on with Rafael Camara's crew. They want to get him out in last place. So all hands to the spanners. for the Mumbai Falcons. If they can get him out at the back of the field, then he can join up as Tuka Tarpanen from the Ferrari Driver Academy looks on. He's just been in the F4 UAE race himself. And Rafael Kamara is just hoping that he can get back out on the circuit. His helmet is on, his gloves are at the ready, but he's only got 5.5 minutes before the race gets back underway behind the safety car. This is proper tension and drama down at Mumbai Falcons. Exactly what they didn't need, exactly what they didn't want. And of course, at this stage of proceedings, nobody's keeping an eye on what's going on. Rafael Kamara is actually helping out with the engine cover. Get in the car, get in the car. If we can do this, we need you in car, ready, no waiting around. Now, this is a precarious situation for Rafael Kamara because he's having to get in the car while it's on its jacks. You don't get to do this too often when you're a youngster. So all hands to the spanners. So there could be 19 drivers in this race rather than 18. If Rafael Kamara and the Mumbai Falcons crew can get that car out there in time, then he will join up in 19th place at the back of the grid. Now, I don't know, actually, whether he's going to be a lap down or not. That's also got to be taken into consideration. So, a really fascinating situation now for all of the contenders, as Lorenzo Flusha's car is cleared away. Another blameless victim. You've got to feel, though, for Joshua Dirksen, the pole position sitter, 3 to 4 drivers wide into that hairpin, and it just all comes apart. What a shame. A brilliant effort all weekend from Josh Dirksen. Pole position, a great chance to win, and it all unravels in a matter of seconds. So the teams are just getting their restart procedures up to scratch. Hopefully they will be able to restart. Lorenzo Flusha is already back in the garage there. I could just see him chatting away with his mechanics. Very unfortunate indeed for Lorenzo Flusha, and I'm sure that his siblings, who are in Valencia in the case of Lucas and Leonardo in the case of Luna respectfully, will be very disappointed indeed for their big brother. So a very tricky race start there with several cars involved. The full list of retirements as it stands at the moment is Brad Benavides, Francesco Braschi, Pepe Marti, Nikita Bedrin, Gabriele Mini, Mari Boyer, Lorenzo Flusha and pole sitter Joshua Dirksen, all out. Now that leaves us with 19 if Rafael Kamara can get going again. If he can't, well then it really is a headache. So the order as it stands at the moment is Dino Beganovic ahead of Andrea Kimi Antonelli, Taylor Barnard, Sebastian Montoya. How on earth he's in 4th place, but he is in 4th position. What a start from the Colombian. Josh Dufek, Aidan Neat, Michael Shin and Rafael Villagomez. Then Han Shen Yu and Giovanni Mascio are in the points at the moment, the two R&B racing cars. Just ahead of Luke Browning, who managed to take avoiding action just to run in 11th. Then Niels Kuhlen, Wang Shongwei, Nikhil Bora, Levi Revej, Daniel Mavlyutyov, and then we have Matthias Zagazeta and Sami Megatuniv. Now I'll tell you who has disappeared from the fray completely, and I'm not entirely sure what's happened to him, but Tazana Poland Fivazak has just gone missing. He's not on my timing screen. There should be 28 cars out there, and one of them should be Tazin Vivazak. Now I'm not entirely sure what's happened to the talented Thai. A very unhappy Sami Megatuniv. Oh no, wait a minute, that's Francesco Braschi, I do apologise. So that's Francesco Braschi, one of the many victims caught up in that race incident. Very disappointing indeed for the Italian. I think he just wants to go back to the hotel and just sleep it off. What a shame. Very disappointing start to this first Formula Regional race on the Kuwait Motor Town circuit. Fabulous facility. The drivers love it here. They love the challenge of driving around this circuit as well. But it's obviously been a bit of a tough one. So in 1 minute's time, the race will resume for 24 minutes plus 1 lap. That's what we're going to get. So we are going to get under race procedure once again. And obviously it's going to be a really exciting battle when we renew it. Dino Beganovic and Andrea Kimi Antonelli are going to lead the way for Mumbai Falcons, with the pressure building from Taylor Barnard, Sebastian Montoya and Joshua Dufek. A really exciting run. Aidan Neate is going to be there in P6 in front of his teammate Michael Shin. And then Rafael Villa-Gomez, Han Chen-Yu, Giovanni Mascio, Luke Browning, Niels Kuhlen, Wang Zhongwei, Nikhil Bora, Levi Revej, Dan Mavlutiov, Matthias Zagazeta, Sami Megatuniv, and Rafael Kamara, we hope, is going to be there 19th. Tazanopol into Vivazak has gone missing. I'm not entirely sure why. But Josh Dirksen, Lorenzo Flusha, Mari Boya, Gabriele Limini, Nikita Bedrin, Pepe Marti, Francesco Braschi, and Brad Benavides are all out of the race after a monster accident that brought out the red flags. Now we are going back under race conditions again, and the time has started ticking. 24 minutes plus 1 lap as we are under safety car, and there are 18 cars out there on the course. Rafael Kamara has not rejoined yet. In fact, I'm trying to count how many cars have rejoined. The last of them appears to be Matthias Zagazeta. And there are a couple of cars coming out of the pits at the back there. Now, is one of them Kamara? It is! Rafael Kamara is one of them. So they seem to have repaired Rafael Kamara's car. Thank goodness for that. The Brazilian fans have just taken a big sigh of relief. Rafael Kamara is out there on the course. And according to the timing screen in front of me, he is on the lead lap. So that is very good news indeed if that is the case. We'll double check. But it looks like we've got 19 cars out there on the course. But sadly, no Josh Dirksen, the pole sitter, no Lorenzo Flusha, no Mari Boya, Gabriele Mini, Nikita Bedrin, Pepe Marti, Francesco Braschi, or Brad Benavides. All of them out in the first lap incident. 8 cars wiped out, possibly 9, because I don't quite know what's happened to Taz in the Vivazak. He seems to have disappeared from the fray completely. I wonder if the incident not only took him out of the race, but also broke the transponder, so it's not communicating with the timing screen anymore. And I can tell you that it is great work for the mechanics, and by the look of it, Rafael Kamara is still permitted to be on the lead lap. So that is good news. He has not gone a lap down according to the timing screen in front of me. The lights are out on the safety car. The safety car is in at the end of this lap. So we're going to get some great racing. And somehow Dino Beganovic is looking for a possible second win of 2023. But Andrea Kimi Antonelli, his teammate who leads the championship by 6 points to Rafael Kamara, wants to win his first race of the year. Beganovic is holding them at bay, which is great news because Kamara has now caught everybody up. Wait for it. Wait for it. Dino is not going to drop the hammer until he's ready. He comes off the penultimate turn. Green lights are going, but he's waiting. He's waiting. He's backing them up. Once he drops the hammer, that's when we go racing. Safety car is in. We wait for Dino Beganovic's signal to go. It's a long straight here, but he's going to time it when he's ready. Still backing them up. Still backing them up. Dino Beganovic wants to make them wait as long as possible. The Swedish superstar who won race 1, he's coached by the British touring car champion of 1998, Rickard Rydell. When is Dino Beganovic going to go for it? The Ferrari Academy youngster. Waiting for his moment. I think he'll do it mid-apex of the final turn. He'll leave it as late as humanly possible. Now he's gone for it. He drops the hammer, Dino Beganovic, at the last possible moment. And it's green, 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 green. We're racing again at Kuwait Motor Town. Down to the first corner, Antonelli trying to get into the slipstream of his teammate. Flat out through turn 1. Barnard is hunting down Antonelli. Montoya is trying to stay with them with Dufek in 5th position. And there's already a couple of moves as dropping down the field like wildfire. That is Wang Zhongwei. So Wang Zhongwei is letting them all go. And we're still battling again up to the lead. Here comes Barnard diving in on the inside of Antonelli, who goes round the outside of Beganovic. They go wheel to wheel. Beganovic won't let it happen. Antonelli has to back off the power. and here comes Montoya, diving in for third. Brilliant from Montoya. Sebastian Montoya storms into third position. Now Barnard's got to fend off from his teammate Dufek. Dufek drifts wide and he's onto the dust. That's going to cost him positions. But Sebastian Montoya gets out the boxing gloves. I'm going for the win, boys. Brilliant from Montoya. Absolutely stunning from the Red Bull youngster. That's why they signed him. That's what he can do. Through the S's. Good run further back. Whoops! Giovanni Mascio just runs out of road there. Manages to get himself back into position as he tucks in behind Luke Browning. Browning is already on the offense as he tucks in behind Rafael Villagomez. So some good battles on the opening lap. Bogdanovic leads Antonelli and Colombia's Sebastian Montoya. He is right in the hunt for the victory and he knows it. So the lap 1, turn 2 incidents will be investigated after the race. We won't know anything about that investigation until tomorrow morning, most likely. But Bogdanovic has held on from Antonelli. Montoya, then it is Barnard in front of Aidan Neate, I think that is. Josh Dufek lost a couple of positions on that first lap, running wide onto the dirt as everybody's still dueling wheel to wheel. That is a little bit squirrely from Sami Megatunev, trying to work his way back through the pack. So Bogdanovic leads Antonelli, Montoya, Barnard, Neate, Shin, Dufek, Han, Villagomez and Browning. They're the ones in the points at the moment, and up through the field comes Kamara. Dives through, gets the move on Levi Ravesh. So he's got past Mavlutiov, Jagajeta and Wang. Now side by side, this is Barnard. Getting his move on the Colombian. Thank you very much, says Taylor Barnard. Third position, back past Sebastian Montoya. Great run from Taylor Barnard. Don't you know the score, Sebastian? I'm the comeback king. And Barnard pushes Montoya back off the podium. Montoya's going to drift a little wide. This is a chance for Aidan Neate to work his way forward. The British driver in 5th position for Prema. And he's all over the back of Sebastian Montoya. So Montoya just trying to keep it together, but Aidan Neate is leading the cavalry onto the tail of the Colombian. Now that would be a real feather in the cap for Aidan Neate if he could take on the Red Bull youngster and pass as Browning closes back up on Villagomez. Just on the outskirts of the top 10, Browning drifts a little wide. Giovanni Mascio trying to cut back through. Mascio looking for the move, but Browning holds him steady. And watch out behind you, because here comes Nikhil Bora. Nikhil Bora in the RSGP car is all over the back of Giovanni Mascio. And he's already a race winner this season, Nikhil Bora. He won race 2 in Dubai. Here comes the move! Nikhil Bora dives in on Mascio. Thank you very much, mate. He runs wide on the exit. Mascio tries to cut back in. I don't think so, Sunshine. So Bogdanovic comes through. Antonelli in 2nd. Barnard is 3rd. Montoya is 4th. So a really exciting battle for Dino Bogdanovic up front. He's putting away. Here comes Kamara. Kamara locks up. Dives in on Mascio. Makes the place happen. But he runs wide on the exit. Mascio's going to get him back, so Kamara's going to tighten in behind him again on the slipstream. Great dueling down the main straight. Mascio holds on. Kamara's got to follow him on the slipstream. And as they run through up towards turn 2, Kamara's going to have another chance. Bogdanovic, Antonelli, Barnard, Montoya, Neate. Dufek's making the move on Michael Shin, and he gets through. Nice move from Dufek. And from far back, that is Chen Yu Han. Dueling away with Villagomez. Villagomez trying to hang on in front of Han Chen Yu. Villagomez continues again. Han Chen Yu's going to drift wide and off the road. And Villagomez is going to try and cut back in on the inside. Here he goes. Villagomez looks for the move on the inside line. Han Chen Yu trying to close the radius down. Browning still in 10th place in front of Bora. Han Chen Yu lets the door wide open. Browning looking for the inside line. Browning having a go at Villagomez. He gets the run on the chicane. He has to hang back. Watch for Nikhil Bora. Through the right, through the left. A little bit of a twitch on the curbs for Browning. Bora might seek an opportunity here. So Han Chen Yu, Rafael Villagomez, Luke Browning and Nikhil Bora dueling away for 8th position. It's not just at the front where the action is, you can find it all the way down the back. This is tough for Han Chen Yu to hang on to. Nikhil Bora hunting down the new boy. Luke Browning in the high-tech 52. They storm through to the left flick. But the 2 leaders up front are the Mumbai Falcon pair of Dino Bogdanovic and Andrea Kimi Antonelli. Bogdanovic could do with the victory. It'll certainly help him in the championship fight. Here is the battle for 8th, and look at that, Kamara's joined the back of the pack. He's got through past Giovanni Mascio, and now Kamara wants to take these boys on. He's got through the relatively easy drivers to overtake. Now he's really got to get his skates on. Han Xianyu, Rafael Gomez, Browning, side by side. This is Browning going wheel to wheel with Bora. Bora around the outside. And this is going to be a chance for Neat to go for Montoya. Montoya hugs the inside. Neat's going to try and get the switch. There's not a lot of grip on the inside. That's the problem. He's now got to wait for Josh Dufek to try and make his bid. But Neat is still there in fifth for the moment. Montoya, Neat and Dufek dueling for fourth place. Michael Shin's dropping back a bit. Montoya takes a wider line through the hairpin, but cuts back across on Aidan Neat before he gets the overtake. Watch back behind Shin. You can see that Han Xianyu is not there anymore. That's via Gomez, I do believe, who's now in 8th place. But Browning had to deal with Bora, so he's not able to take advantage. Browning is still in front of Bora, but not for long if Bora's got anything to say about it. And Rafael Kamara's just in behind him. Bora has to think about it. Browning hangs on. Browning's now got to make the bid on Han Xianyu. Rafael Gomez already has. Han Xianyu twitching there in the R&B car. So for the high-tech Luke Browning, he's got to try and make his stake. He's got to try and stake a claim here on the inside of the Chinese driver in front of him. Han Xianyu still hoping for a chance to pull clear and get back on terms with the Mexican Rafael Gomez. But he's a little bit hesitant through the penultimate section of the corner. Running a little bit wide, that's Mascio. Manages to cut back through in front of Sami Megatunev. And then we have Zagazeta, Revej, Mavlutyov, Kulin and Wang Zhongwei. And that's all that's left. 19 cars out of the 28 that took up the grid. But it's Beganovic that leads Antonelli, who sets the fastest lap of the race. Kimi Antonelli on a 1:47.8. Watch for the battle for fourth position. Montoya, Neat and Dufek. Montoya, Neat and Dufek are getting very close to each other. Bora's having another run at Browning. Down to turn 2. And now Dufek is getting alongside Aidan Neat. Can he go the long way round the outside? Josh Dufek's going to commit to it. And he's done it. What a move from the Swiss. Josh Dufek plows around the outside of Aidan Neat. Job done. That is such a tough overtake. And that is exactly what Josh Dufek is able to make come his way. Amazing. A great run from Josh Dufek. So now Aidan Neat has got to try and shake off his teammate, Michael Shin. But Joshua Dufek, when the chips were down, he needed to make a big move on Aidan Neat. Round the outside into turn 2 is as big as you're going to get. Meanwhile, that is a bit of a wayward Bora. Browning's already got past Han Xianyu. Now Bora's got to do it. Now Kamara's got to do it. Rafael Kamara, frustrated behind the Chinese driver. Move over. And Sami Megatunev is right on the back of Kamara. Megatunev's going to commit. Oh, that was close. Megatunev just bailed out. But he really wants to score a point. He hasn't yet so far this year, Sami Megatunev. Considering he starts race 3 from pole position, this is a really disappointing start to the race for Megatunev. That's running wide. Who's that? Who's gone off the road there? Trying to get back into position again. I think that might have been Han Xianyu. Meanwhile, up front, it's Beganovic, Antonelli and Barnard. 3 title contenders. Montoya in a brilliant 4th, then Dufek, then Neat, then Shin, then Via Gomez, and this terrific Titanic scrap further back. Onto the main straight. And a great run from Kamara. He's made up a lot of places. He hasn't done all the work he can do. He knows it. Meanwhile, Montoya trying to fend off from Dufek. Dufek's trying to force the error from Montoya. Bit of a lock-up from Dufek instead. And now down to the braking zone further back. Behind Via Gomez, that's Browning. Then Bora. Here comes the charge through up the inside. Careful! Zagazeta just manages to give enough room for Kamara, but a little bit of a twitch from Mascio. And now it's going to be tough to get these guys through in one fell swoop. Levi Revej is sat there just watching it all unfold. Very close encounter there. My goodness. Well, we seem to have lost Marti, and we've also lost Revej. Oh, in fact, wait a minute. Pepe Marti seems to have got going again. Has Pepe Marti gone back out? I think he might have left the pits and rejoined several laps down. So Pepe Marti is the 20th man in this race. Now, there is a 5-second penalty being added at the end of the race for defending position at turn 5. That is the 18, that is Han Shen-Yu. So Han Shen-Yu is going to lose 5 seconds and have it added to the end of his race. Well, that's a big problem for Han Shen-Yu. Well, a really exciting situation. So Beganovic leads. Antonelli second and catching his teammate. There is Beganovic. Antonelli is less than a second back. 5 seconds back from them is Barnard. Another 5 seconds back is Montoya. But Antonelli hasn't given up on the idea of winning his first race of the season. But he's got to pass his teammate to do it. We still have 9 minutes left of this race. A lot can still happen here. And Antonelli is setting off after his teammate, Dino Beganovic. Beganovic and Antonelli both really attacking these curves. And there's a bit of a twitch there between Montoya. Oh, they've actually come together. Montoya makes contact. And it looks like the car's got nothing left. Broken suspension. Montoya's out. Montoya's out. Sebastian Montoya is out of this race. Ah, what a great run. From Sebastian Montoya comes to nothing. Here it is. He went wheel to wheel. Dufek had made the move on the inside. Neither driver prepared to give best. Dufek wobbles onto the curb. Montoya runs off, rejoins. Dufek's already there. Bang! Game over. Sebastian Montoya tried to rejoin in front of Dufek. Dufek was already too far alongside. Left front suspension broken. Sebastian Montoya is out. Safety car, safety car. The safety car is called for Sebastian Montoya's car. And now we could have a thrilling last lap dash between Beganovic and Antonelli. Barnard's back into it. Well, a really interesting situation. And there is a 5-second penalty being handed out to Sami Megatuniv for overtaking at the end of the safety car procedure. So it looks like he made an overtake just a little bit too premature to get the overtake done. So I'm afraid Sami Megatuniv in the number 61 car is going to have a 5-second penalty. There is Wang Zhongwei, who has finally got himself into a position where he can finish a race. Well, Sebastian Montoya looking pretty fed up. It was a great charge through to as high as third at one point, but he just couldn't quite catch a break today. What a shame for Sebastian Montoya. He was going so well. Now, it looks as though Levi Revege has parked it up as well. I think Levi Revege is off the road somewhere else. I can't quite make out where Levi Revege's car is. I know exactly where Sebastian Montoya's car is. But the safety car picks up the leader, Beganovic, in front of Antonelli, Barnard, Dufek, Neat, Shin, Villa Gomez, Browning, Bora, and Megatuniv. Although Megatuniv has got a 5-second penalty coming his way for a little bit of an eager overtake at the end of the safety car period. So this is definitely going to be a very tricky situation, as now we seem to have lost Sebastian Montoya and Levi Revege, who are both out of the race. Very unfortunate for Montoya, who did an amazing job to get up from 18th to 4th in the first lap incident, and then got as high as third, just lost ground in the end to Barnard, and then as Dufek tried to make the move, Montoya drifted wide, tried to rejoin, but unfortunately, you can see his car there. Dufek was already there. Wouldn't have been easy for him to spot, to be fair. But unfortunately, Dufek was already there, and that's broken the left front suspension of Sebastian Montoya's car. So his race is over. A big shame, and a fair effort there from the talented Colombian. He gave it everything he's got, but the luck wasn't with him today. He'll get another chance. In fact, he'll get another 2 tomorrow. And considering that he wasn't taken off in the initial first lap incident, he won't be starting from the back. He'll be starting from 18th in the first race of the day tomorrow. Now, this is going to be fascinating because whoever finishes this race in 10th position is going to be pole position for race 2. Now, that's currently Megatuniv. No, it's not. It's Megatuniv. Oh yeah, it is Megatuniv, but he's got 5-second penalty added to his tally. So that's going to promote, would you believe it, Rafael Kamara. Rafael Kamara is suddenly looking at 10th place. Now that's going to put him in pole position for tomorrow. Well, that really would be a great place for Rafael Kamara to start from. So I imagine he doesn't want to do anything here except just stay where he is and get ready for race 2. So it does look like there's 19 cars out there, and the last of them is in fact Pepe Marti. Pepe Marti is showing up as circulating around the course. Just trying to count how many cars are actually in the running. It looks to me as though we've actually got 17 rather than... sorry, it looks as though we've got 18 rather than 19. So, I'm not sure what's happened with Pepe Marti's car, but it doesn't look like it's circulating at all. There are the marshals going to work there to just get Sebastian Montoya's car a little off the racing line. Now, if you're Dino Beganovic, time to sweat. And look, he's pulling right up close to the safety car. He wants this race to either finish or restart quickly because he's got Kimi Antonelli right underneath him. So this is not going to be easy for Beganovic to hang on to. But Beganovic is there in front of Antonelli, Barnard, Dufek, Neat, Shin, Villa Gomez, Browning, Bora and Rafael Kamara. Megatuniv is actually 10th on the road, but he has 5 seconds added to his race for a slightly too eager overtake under safety car. Now, they can't get the race started on this lap. Oh no, they can! Safety car in at the end of this lap. Safety car will be in at the end of this lap. I thought it was going to be too late, but no, the lights are out. Lights are out. Here we go. We're going to go racing again. And that means, for my money, we're only going to get a 2-lap sprint. Beganovic backs them up once more. They weave from side to side. This has been a race full of attrition. But can Beganovic hold off Andrea Kimi Antonelli and the PHM twins of Taylor Barnard and Josh Dufek? What can Aidan Neat have a say in this? Where's Luke Browning going to finish his first Formula Regional race? And can Kamara back pole position for race 2 tomorrow in P10? So many questions to answer. And we're about to find out. With 2 laps left, essentially, we might actually get 3. Because obviously it's time plus the additional lap. And now Beganovic has put his foot down. But he's got to slow down again because the safety car is there. Oh, this could be tricky. He hasn't quite timed it right. But they just about get away with that, but that could impede Beganovic's restart. The safety car's gone round again. Safety car stays on track. Safety car stays on track. That's what it says on the signal. It must be because something else has happened. Something else has happened. Rafael Kamara has disappeared. What's happened to Rafael Kamara? Kamara appears to have stopped out on the circuit somewhere. So no wonder we're still under safety car. Rafael Kamara appears to be in trouble. Now, I'm not sure where he is, but he has stopped. So Rafael Kamara has stopped out on the circuit. That's why the safety car's gone round again. But I can't find where Rafael Kamara is on track. I can't see where he's stationary. But that is a disaster for the Mumbai Falcon. Rafael Kamara is not moving. What an unbelievable turn of events. Just as we're about to go racing again. All the hard work from the Mumbai Falcons to get him out there. And now it's all come to nothing. Safety car again. Now, if they can clear it quickly, they might just get 1 racing lap in. If not, we're going to finish under safety car. And then pole position for tomorrow's race is going to be Matthias Zagazeta. My goodness me. Well, time is going to run down to 0 behind the safety car, whatever happens. But if the lights go out, we can race. If they don't, we're going to finish behind the safety car. And it's about now that we need that answer. Well, I'm afraid Kamara is not going round any further. He's out of this race. And I'm afraid, with the safety car still out and the lights still on, I think this race is going to end under safety car after all. Beganovic can breathe a sigh of relief. And Matthias Zagazeta is going to come through in pole position for tomorrow's race too. That is just an unbelievable turn of events. But where is Kamara? Where is he? I can't even see his car stationary on the side of the road. So, not entirely sure what has happened to the Mumbai Falcon car. But I'm afraid with the safety car still out and the time run down to 0, this race is finishing under safety car. Well, motor racing giveth and motor racing taketh away. And I'm afraid on this occasion, we don't quite get the final flourish that we were hoping for in race 1. But we certainly know that it's going to be very tough indeed at Kuwait Motor Town. The safety car goes into another lap. Leader is on the last lap. The race will finish under safety car. Levi Revege has broken down somewhere on the circuit as well by the look of it. He has not come through. So it looks like there's 1 or 2 cars in trouble, and that could be a remnant of the first lap incident, don't forget. Certainly looks like it might have been for Rafael Kamara. There's Kamara's car. What a shame. What a shame. Poor Rafael Kamara. All that hard work, all that effort, and it comes to nothing. A dejected Brazilian who was second in the championship now suddenly finds himself down the back. What a shame. Well, we don't always get what we want, as Mick Jagger once sang, but if you try sometimes, you might find you get what you need, and we certainly get a very different battle here in Kuwait Motor Town. Tomorrow we can renew it, but Dino Beganovic breathes a sigh of relief and gets his 2nd win of the season. Andrea Kimi Antonelli gets his best result of the year, another 2nd place finish, and however, 3rd position, Taylor Barnard. Joshua Dufek is going to get his best finish of the season in 4th. Aidan Neat and Michael Shin will bring the Premas home in the top 6. Rafael Villagomez will be 7th. Luke Browning makes a good debut in 8th place, and he'll go off 3rd on the grid for tomorrow. But the front row will be the RHGP twins of Nikhil Bora and Matthias Zagazeta. Zagazeta will be pole. My goodness. What an astonishing end to this race. The lights go out on the safety car, but we are already on the last lap. So the race is going to finish behind the safety car. Dino Beganovic is a very, very lucky man. He comes through in all the drama, in all the chaos, in all the carnage. And it's the Super Swede, Dino Beganovic, that will get his 2nd win of 2023 ahead of his championship leading teammate, Andrea Kimi Antonelli. With 18 points, Antonelli is going to move to a grand total of 56. But with this victory, Dino Beganovic is going to surge forward to 42. Battle will recommence tomorrow, but as they come out of the final turn behind the safety car, the victory will go to Dino Beganovic of Sweden. He wins in front of Antonelli, Barnard and Dufek. What a battle it's been. And what an end to an exciting duel. Pole position for tomorrow goes to Matthias Zagazeta. What an outcome. What a turn of events. The Peruvian will go pole position tomorrow. Here's what the top 10 of the grid will look like for race 2, right? Matthias Zagazeta, pole. Nikhil Bora, 2nd. Luke Browning, 3rd. Villagomez, 4th. Then Shin and Neat, Dufek and Barnard. The 5th row of the grid will be Antonelli alongside this man, Dino Beganovic. P10 on the grid. What a crazy opening race to the weekend. I don't think anybody would have expected this one. Well, a fabulous run for Dino Beganovic. Win number 2 out of 4. He may not have had a lot of luck in race 2 or 3, in Dubai, but race 1 he was triumphant, and here he is again on the top spot. So Camilla Baltazar asks the prominent question, who's leading the championship now? Well, by my mathematics, it's still Kimi. He still leads the way for my money with 56 points, his current tally. Rafael Kamara, I'm afraid, will remain on 32. Taylor Barnard, however, will go up to 45 and move into second place in the Drivers' Championship. Dino Beganovic moves up to third place in the Drivers' Championship on... Oh no, sorry, he'll go up to second on 52. So Kimi will be leading this championship in front of Dino Beganovic, and Beganovic is coming in rather quickly. He just wants to get back and celebrate with his team. Mumbai Falcons triumphant for the second time this season. And their man, Andrea Kimi Antonelli, is still leading the championship. What a thriller. What a great race. May not have finished the way most of us wanted it to, but we've certainly ended up with a thrilling encounter nonetheless. Mumbai Falcons 1 and 2, Taylor Barnard back on the podium. 3 very happy men, no doubt. We've got the podium superstar Taylor Barnard, the championship leader Andrea Kimi Antonelli, and the super Swede on top again, Dino Beganovic, race winner here in Kuwait. And that'll do nicely for Dino Beganovic. Never count him out. He hugs Moy Tungakar and his dad. What a fabulous, fabulous end to a thriller of a race. I don't think they were expecting that one, but Dino Beganovic pulled off an amazing show. Lorenzo Flusha comes up to congratulate his teammate. Well done, buddy. What a race indeed. Dino Beganovic from Sweden takes the victory. Apologies if any of the words you found there were offensive, but Dino Beganovic in front of Andrea Kimi Antonelli and Taylor Barnard, Joshua Dufek and Aidan Neat, from Michael Shin and Rafael Villa-Gomez, Luke Browning, Nikhil Bora, and tomorrow's pole sitter, Matthias Zagazeta for Peru. Levi Revege was able to come home in 11th place in the end in front of Giovanni Mascio and Niels Kuhlen. And then Wang Shongwei in 14th in front of Han Chen-yu, Daniel Mavlyutyov, and despite pulling out on the last lap, Sami Megatuniv drops to 17th, and last, nobody else was able to finish. Rafael Kamara, Sebastian Montoya, Pepe Marti, Joshua Dirksen, Lorenzo Flusha, Tizana Polintra-Vivazak, Marty Boya, Gabriele Mini, Nikita Bedrin, Francesco Braschi, and Brad Benavides, all out of the race. So Dino Beganovic is down there with our lady on the scene, Feline Wang.
Hey Dino, congratulations. Such a dramatic race, and tell us about it.
No, I mean, it was, for me, it was a great race, a really good opening lap, coming from 9th to 1st, was really good. I hope everybody's okay after the crash, but otherwise, settle down in the pace, just keep going, just keep digging, and yeah, just manage about safety cars, and yeah, it was a great finish.
Congratulations. Yeah. 那么刚刚呢，我问到 Dino 他这一场的表现，因为这一场真的发生了太多的事故了，也让比赛呢非常的精彩。他说他很开心，因为他毕竟拿到了冠军，而且起步的时候从第9位一跃升到了第1位，而且在安全车出动之后重新继续保持了自己的领先位置，直到终点。Back to you guys.
If you wanted drama and excitement, you've got it. Kuwait Motor Town really delivered a thriller. Dino Beganovic from the 5th row of the starting grid came through for the win. So let's look back over an amazing and unbelievable race. They go out, we'll be underway. Let's race in Kuwait. A great start from Andrea Kimi Antonelli, but a perfect launch from Josh Dirksen. Megatuniv is going to tuck in behind Antonelli. Barnard's going alongside him though. Let's have another look. And there's the big contact that comes in as one of the Hyderabad Blackbirds ends up over the top of one of the PHM cars, and then there's a bigger hit further back as 2 cars come together. Let's look at it from the back angle. One car goes up and another one goes over. It's Benavides that rolls it. He is so lucky that that didn't go full 360. Looks like there's a bit of lead. Trying to get into the slipstream of his teammate. Flat out through turn one. Barnard is hunting down Antonelli. Montoya is trying to stay with them with Dufek in 5th position. And there's already a couple of moves. Antonelli. Montoya is trying to stay with them with Dufek in 5th position. And there's already a couple of moves as dropping down the field like wildfire. That is Wang Zhongwei. So Wang Zhongwei is letting them all go. And we're still battling again up to the lead. Here comes Barnard diving in on the inside of Antonelli, who goes round the outside of Beganovic. They go wheel to wheel. Beganovic won't let it happen. Antonelli has to back off the power. And here comes Montoya, diving in for 3rd. Brilliant from Montoya. The move on Levi Revej. So he's got past Mavlutyov, Zagajeta and Wang. Now side by side, this is Barnard. Getting his move on the Colombian. Thank you very much, says Taylor. He's really got to get his skates on. Han Shen-Yu, Rafael Villa-Gomez, Browning. Side by side. This is Browning. And now Dufek is getting alongside Ada Neat. Can he go the long way round the outside? Josh Dufek's going to commit to it. And he's done it. That's Browning, then Bora. Here comes the charge through up the inside. Careful. Zagazeta, Germany. The leading rookie, Andrea Kimi Antonelli. It's really tough to call a driver of the day, but I think you can't really avoid anybody other than Dino Beganovic, taking the win from so far back. Staying out of trouble on lap 1. Getting himself into a good position, soaking up the pressure from Antonelli on the restart, and making sure that his 2nd win of the season was unquestionable. A really solid effort. So there are more great battles to come over the course of the weekend, as we have 2 more races still to do tomorrow. It's going to be a really exciting challenge for all of the contenders, but the battles are very much joined. So as the podium sitters are going to make their way back into the pits once again, after this podium ceremony, they'll be very happy. Taylor Barnard, 3rd position, yet again. That's 3 podiums out of 4 now for Barnard. He's in the hunt for this title for sure. Andrea Kimi Antonelli, 2nd place, and the top rookie, still leading the championship. But Dino Beganovic, for the 2nd time in 2023, flaps his way to the win. And this one, I think, means even more than the first of the season did. From so far back, I think he had no chance from his point of view, but he proved everybody wrong. 3rd place for Taylor Barnard. A great job for him.
And now it's my honor to invite
a victory for Dino Beganovic. And these trophies have been given out in the right order. Not entirely sure they have, but never mind. Andrea Kimi Antonelli, 2nd place, and he gets the rookie win as well. So a fabulous performance then from our competitors. A great job and a great win. Dino Beganovic on the top. Kimi Antonelli still leads the standings. Taylor Barnard is right in the fight. It looks like it could be these 3 now fighting for the championship. But there are still 2 races tomorrow, with Zagazeta and Bora on the front row of the grid for the first of those, and Sami Megatuniv alongside Taylor Barnard for the 2nd of them. So it's going to be an excellent battle here tomorrow. There'll be more great racing to come from our Formula Regional contenders here in the Middle East Championship. Dino Beganovic wins for the 2nd time out of 4, but the title fight is electric. I'm Jake Sanson. Hope you've enjoyed the action from Kuwait Motor Town. We get 2 more races tomorrow. Bring it on.
Free Championship UAE.
Yes, it's me. And no, it's not cricket. But it's the same energy. It's not between the runs, but the laps. It's not between 2 teams, but many to come. It's not just between the players, but also their machines. Sweat, not in the jerseys, but in their gears. It's about the race this time. Show up to cheer for Amchi Mumbai.
Mumbai Falcons at the Asian F3 Championship, UAE.
Yes, it's me. And no, it's not cricket. But it's the same energy. It's not between the runs, but the laps. It's not between two teams, but